Now, I'm not usually into the MPV aesthetic, but I think as far as MPVs go, the Stargazer X looks pretty darn good. The regular Stargazer kind of looks like a futuristic egg. The Stargazer X adds enough bits to it to break up the rounded shape of the Stargazer, and I think it looks pretty good for an MPV. Every time I park the car and look back at it, I feel like I'm looking at a billboard ad. It's still not my ideal shape for a car, but I can see how some people would find this attractive. Now, the Stargazer X is Hyundai's answer to the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. Now, like the Xpander Cross, this adds a lot of cosmetic bits that make the original car look a bit more rugged, and in the case of the Stargazer X, make it look more angular and less egg-shaped. Here at the front, the Stargazer X gets a more rugged-looking front end. It gets a different grille, finished in gloss black, with these blocky silver accents. You get this futuristic-looking LED light bar over here. You get LED headlamps down here and halogen turn signals. Your fog lamps are down here. You get front parking sensors on the bumper, and you also get a radar unit because the Stargazer X comes with some basic ADAS features. The Stargazer X also gets bigger 17-inch wheels. The GLS only gets 16s. They're wrapped in 205/50 Goodyear tires. Exclusive to the Stargazer X are these plastic moldings on the fenders and also on the lower part of the car, which give it a more rugged look. You have power folding side mirrors with repeaters. You have roof rails up here. You have a smart locking system. To lock or unlock the vehicle, just press this button over here. Now, because the windshield of the Stargazer takes up so much real estate, we're left with a pretty small hood over here. Now, under the hood is a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, which puts out 113 horsepower and 144 Newton-meters of torque. Now, that's about the same as the Xpander Cross, give or take a few horsepower. But the main difference would be the transmission. The Stargazer X gets a CVT transmission, or an IVT according to Hyundai, while the Xpander Cross gets a 4-speed automatic. At the back, the Stargazer X gets a blacked out rear bumper and a more rugged looking faux skid plate. The rest of the rear end looks the same as the other variants. It also gets the same unique looking H-shaped LED tail lamp design. Now, the Stargazer comes with a manual liftgate. Definitely, we have space here to fit our sponsor for today. Introducing the AutoSport Mobility Scooter. The world's most innovative mobility scooter. It folds into a small suitcase size, and it has wheels so you can move it around like a trolley. It separates into two parts. It has leather seats and grips, an illuminated LCD dashboard, enhanced lighting for extra visibility. You can install optional armrests. It's perfect for seniors as it's easy to lift and unfolds in seconds. It has a maximum speed of 10 kph, shock-absorbing flat-free tires, high ground clearance, advanced braking system. Be free to travel anywhere, land, sea, or air. It has 20 kilometers of continuous driving range. Engineered with flair, designed with passion for performance. Be active, be free, be yourself. AutoSport, moving life. Now, the Stargazer X has a couple of important visual improvements over the GLS. I think one of the most obvious visual improvements is this shroud surrounding the screens. Now on the GLS, this is unfinished gray plastic. Here it's finished in piano black. Now a lot of car reviewers complain about piano black plastics because they're scratch magnets or fingerprint magnets, but this just looks miles better than the unpainted gray plastic on the GLS, which people have compared to toilet seat covers. Now unlike the GLS, this gets leather seats. I believe this is synthetic leather. Both front seats are manually adjustable. There is no adjustable lumbar support for the driver. There is height adjustment though. The interior is mostly black with some silver or gray accents. The roof and the pillars are colored gray, but the rest of the interior is black. This is made of hard plastic over here. Now this looks like it's covered in leather. You have stitching over here, but that stitching is fake. This is made of hard plastic. This is hard plastic, and the stitching is molded into the plastic. I'm not really a fan of molded stitching on plastic, but thankfully all the important touch points are covered in leather. Like like this part over here, the armrest is covered in leather. This center armrest is also covered in leather. Like I said, the seats are covered in leather. You get a leather wrapped steering wheel over here. Now you don't have any paddle shifters. You have buttons here for your ADAS. You don't get adaptive cruise control, but you do get standard regular cruise control here. You have lane keep assist, you have autonomous braking, you have blind spot warning. When you try to open your door and there's a car approaching you from this side, it also gives you an audible warning so you don't open the door into traffic. You get this infotainment screen. It has wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also have a reverse camera. The instrument cluster is fully digital over there. So in terms of tech, it's not too far behind its Japanese competitors. Compared to its Chinese competitors like the M6 Pro, it's lacking a couple of features like a 360 camera, a panoramic sunroof, powered seats, etc. But for people who don't really care about cutting edge tech, I think this interior should be just fine. You also got a wireless phone charger over here. You get one USB port, one 12-volt outlet. In terms of storage, the glove box is decently sized. It's not dampened. You have a secret storage over here where you can store your cards. I think it's even spacious enough to fit your phone. You also have some open storage here where you can put stuff like your phone. There's a bit of storage underneath the center armrest. You get these cup holders with ambient lighting, which look really nice at night. Now here at the back, space is quite generous. I have quite a lot of knee room over here. That's about 6.5 inches. Headroom is also very good. I have about 5.5 to 6 inches. The flooring is relatively flat. You have a very small center tunnel over here. In terms of toys, you have 2 USB ports down there, a bit of storage over here. You have your air vents up here. You have 4 air vents, and you have a dedicated fan speed control knob. It sucks cold air coming from the front and blows it towards the back. You have a center armrest here which doesn't have cup holders, but that's not really an issue because you have a pretty big cup holder over here. I think it's more fitting to call that a bottle holder because it's big enough to fit a decently sized bottle. You also have a foldable tray here with another cup holder. Now you only get this tray on the passenger side. There is no tray on this side. Okay, so the second row seat tumbles forward for easier access. Let's get to the back seat. So right now I have very little knee room here, but the second row seat can actually be moved forward and back if you need more knee room. Headroom is pretty decent. I have about 1.5 inches. I just wish that this was not here. I mean, it's not hitting my head, but it's just constantly in my peripheral vision and I'd rather not have it there. But in terms of visibility, it's pretty good back here. I have pretty big windows here at the back. The second row seats are also pretty low, so I have good front visibility. In terms of toys, I have one cup holder over here and another one over there. I also have some storage over there. And there's also a 12-volt outlet over here. Now the Xpander and the Stargazer are similar mechanically. They both have 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engines. The main difference would be the transmission. While the Xpander has a 4-speed automatic, the Stargazer has a CVT transmission. Now the 4-speed automatic of the Xpander, I think, is more responsive when you're in the city. I think it makes the Xpander a bit more fun to drive in the city. But the CVT of the Stargazer shines when you're on the highway. especially when you're going at 100 kph. So the 4-speed automatic of the Xpander runs out of gears on the highway. At 100 kph, you'll be doing around 3,000 rpm, and that affects your NVH levels and also your fuel economy. Now on the Stargazer, at 100 kph, you'll be doing about 1,800 to 1,900 rpm, and that improves the fuel economy and the NVH levels of the car. Okay, so we're doing 94, 93 kph at 1,800 rpm. My foot is on the pedal, I'm not coasting. Okay, that's about 100 kph, 1,900 rpm, more or less. Now in terms of NVH, I'd say the Xpander and the Stargazer are about the same, unless you're driving at higher speeds on the highway, in which case the Stargazer wins because of its CVT. The Stargazer X also has more ADAS features than the Xpander. Now we don't get adaptive cruise control here, we only get standard cruise control, but we do get lane keeping assist. So basically, as you can see, the car steers itself. Basically it tries to keep you within the lane. As long as you have markings on the road, it will keep you within your lane, within reason. Of course, when you're doing sharp turns, it's not going to be very reliable. Yeah, it's not really designed as autopilot. It's something that's supposed to aid you if ever you have to take your hands off the wheel for whatever reason. The Stargazer X sells for 1,348,000 pesos. That's about 50,000 pesos more than the Stargazer GLS. The Stargazer X gets bigger 17-inch wheels and mostly just cosmetic bits. The Stargazer X is only 2,000 pesos more expensive than the Xpander Cross. They're practically the same price. The Stargazer X has the advantage when it comes to tech, which is expected since it's the newer model. It has standard cruise control, which the Xpander lacks. It has lane keeping assist. It has a wireless charger, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Also, because it has a CVT, it's a bit more fuel efficient at highway speeds. The advantages of the Xpander Cross are: 1, it has a bit more ground clearance. Its styling is also more rugged and more crossover-like. Now, on paper, the Stargazer X is the clear winner. But in reality, it depends on what you value more. Do you value tech? Do you value ground clearance? Do you like sleek styling or more rugged styling? In the end though, both are not bad at what they aim to be. They're both attainable 7-seater MPVs that score high on practicality and value.